Tiffany again. I'm the branch manager of the Egg Harbor City Library, and today I'm going to show you guys how to do some awesome fairy gardens, which you can hang up in your houses. You guys can even do some of these in like little fish bowls and put them on desks or tables. It just depends on what you guys feel comfortable with. Today, we are going with our summer theme, which is why we're doing a fairy garden. This summer's theme is Imagine Your Story, as you can tell by my lovely dragon and my unicorns. The great thing about this craft is that not only can you imagine your story for the entire summer, but with this craft, you can use your own imagination to imagine however you want your fairy garden. Or you don't even have to do a fairy garden at all. You can make it a mermaid lagoon, you can make it a knight's garden, anything your little heart desires. And the great thing about this craft too is it's good for all ages. There's a couple things that you might need an adult for if you're younger, but if you're older, you can do it too. I mean, I have these hanging in my house, so adults can do the craft too. All right, so it's super simple to start with our craft today. You only need a few things. First is a pie tin. I got this from the Dollar Tree for $1, so super simple to get one of these. Now this is gonna sound a little weird. I also have nail polish. You can do this with spray paint too. I just like the nail polish because you can kind of get into the crevices. And if you decide you want to get really creative and do designs and stuff, the nail polish is really good. The only thing I suggest is, especially since it's so hot outside, make sure you're in a very ventilated room before you start using nail polish because it is very strong. And then you just need fun things to decorate it with. I have some fairy garden objects, including a sign that actually says Fairy Garden and Welcome. And I have some little fairy garden tools, little shovel, little rake, spatula. And then whatever you decide to put at the bottom of your garden. Like I said, if you want to do a garden, you can use little rocks. Again, I got these from the Dollar Tree. Or if you even want to get a little more creative, like I said, a little mermaid lagoon. I got these little blue pebbles that look kind of like a little sea. Just have to be careful how you're gluing them in, and I'll explain how to do that in a minute. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna color your entire tin. As you can tell by my finished project, I covered all the way around. You're even gonna get the edges, and you're gonna make sure you get all the inside. Now I know that the rocks look like they're covering the entire base, but you wanna still make sure you covered the entire inside, because if the rocks shift, then you're not left with a big tinny space in the middle. And then I just left the back blank. Now this is the part where I was saying if you are an adult, it's not so hard. If you're a kid, you might need an adult's help. I did drill a hole because I wanted to hang mine so I could put a nail in it, but you don't even have to drill a hole if you don't want to. These wonderful command strips work just as well holding it up. You probably need 2 or 3 of them, but I'm sure most of us have seen these at the Dollar Tree or other places, so they're not that hard to get. All right, the other thing you're gonna need is some plant life. So, got these from the Dollar Tree, and you're just gonna cut them down to the size you want them. Like I said, it depends on what you wanna use. If you wanna use a tin, you can cut them down a little bit shorter. If you decide you wanna use more like a fishbowl thing, then you might wanna leave them a little bit longer so it sticks out a little bit more. It just depends on what you're doing with your project. But again, $1 from the Dollar Tree, and you got all sorts of different options, all sorts of different colors. I also like the leaf ones because I was thinking of actually creating a little forest type one, because for fairies, these would be their trees. The little leaves are basically their trees because they're little tiny people. So again, just depending on what you want to do, how creative you want to get, it's all up to you on how you want to do it. All right, so once you have painted your entire tin black, what you're going to do is, and this is the really complicated part because rocks shift. So you're going to need a couple different things. So when you're gluing the rocks down, the first thing you do is you're gonna line up to see where you want the rocks to go at, and then you're gonna do a nice layer flat down on the surface. You're gonna lay it straight down and you're gonna make a line. When you're done with that, now this is actually really cool glue I found at the Dollar Tree. It's called spray glue. I did this with super glue. I put the super glue on the very bottom, and then I used the spray glue on top of it. Once I had that layer and it was firmly glued down, I added another layer on top of that, and another layer, and another layer, and another layer. Once you have all the layers in, and they're sturdy and nothing's falling out, then you can start adding your plants. And the plants are really easy once you have the rocks in because you can actually stick the plants into the rocks, as you can see. And then what I did also was to make sure that the plants didn't go anywhere, I also glued the back of the plants to the tin. So not super difficult to do. And the last step, we wanted our fairy garden, especially our rocks, just in case anything starts to shift. I used saran wrap for mine, but you can use anything with a plastic covering. If you have like a plastic bag or a Ziploc baggie, just make sure it fits. Mine actually reaches around in the back, and I kind of tied it and taped it off because nobody's gonna see the back if it's hanging up. And then that's the way you can make sure that stays in there. And just like that, you have, a nice little fairy garden. So like I said, super simple, but the greatest thing about this is that you can use your imagination with it as much as you want to, because it's really up to you what you decide to use. And the Dollar Tree, seriously, the best place to find most of the stuff that you guys are gonna need. So thank you guys for watching my short video today. Remember, check online for our summer reading stuff, because we have so much stuff for summer reading this year. So we still won't see you guys for a while, but remember, we are doing curbside pickup. And if you guys like the video, please share the link up below. So hope you guys have a great day. Bye.